If you are tired and not knowing what to do with your life, I want to help you. I don't promise that I have the answers, but what I do promise is I'm going to give you a perspective that maybe can start the gears turning. Because the reality is nobody else can help you other than you. And that is probably the first thing you have to realize about being lost. The only way to get out of being lost is first acknowledge you are lost. There's an egotistical side of you that probably wants to hold on to whatever has been your personality for the last, I don't know, 8 years of your life. Maybe for you that's been being a good student. Maybe for you that's been this idea that I'm just not worthy of anything. It can go pretty deep. And this can be stuff that doesn't even really have anything to do with you. It could be something that your parents put onto you, or maybe some friends early in your life did. But now you are getting this sense of sentience, which is a funny word to describe it as, but you're having this reality check where you are like, whoa, nobody cares about me except me. What do I do? I've lived my life for other people. What do I do? And suddenly the panic buttons are starting to go off. The control room is just overflowing because you are now realizing that you are not in control or haven't been in control of this aircraft that has been piloting your life for the past 8 years. And instead, you have been on autopilot. And the coordinates have been other people's ideas of who you are. You're lost. You can look at your internal GPS all you want. You can be like, no, I know I need to go to nursing school. Oh, no. I know that I'm going to become a pilot. I know that I'm going to work as a contractor. That's my destiny. But you also know deep down that that's not true. I wasn't excited to go to college. It was fun. If my parents had not offered it, I don't think I would have gone. But in college, I had some rude awakenings, and that was that I did not want to do anything that I was studying. I just didn't want to. And I don't mean this to sound like I'm an anti-college guy, because listen, if you want to figure yourself out, it's not a bad place to go if you're going to go into debt. I don't know. Think about it at least. But the truth of the matter is, you have to realize that it's on you now. It's on you. And that's not me trying to put too much pressure on you, but if we are going to acknowledge that we are in a position that we don't want to be in, we have to acknowledge that we have to take accountability for it. That's the first step of getting unlost. And the second thing that you should realize, and this is going to be kind of when I kind of realized this, I didn't really like it, but maybe you will do better than I did. There is no destination. And there never was. There is no place that you're supposed to go. The thing that you're supposed to do is realize how you want to move in your life. How do you want to fly? How do you want to soar? Where do you want to be? What do you want to look at? How do you want to spend your day-to-day? Because the title of being a doctor is great, but rarely do you think about the hundreds of hours of residency that you have to do and the sacrifice of not having a life for a good quarter of your life because you are dedicated to this goal. You realizing that you're lost is the most freeing thing you can do as a young individual, because then it makes you ask the question, what do I want? That will dictate everything else. And you can be as honest as you want to be. That's the beauty of it. People think that think of the term of reality, but I'm not somebody that's going to judge you if you tell me right now, I want to be famous. Cool. Why? Well, I want to make a lot of money. It's something that, I never had growing up, so it'd be great to have that. What does a lot of money mean? Well, a lot of money would be like a Lamborghini, a Ferrari in the front yard. That'd be sick. But why do you want those things? Well, to show people that I'm famous and to show people that I've made it and I'm successful. Okay. But why do you need to prove it to other people? Well, I mean, if other people don't acknowledge it, then how is it true? You, my friend, are lost. In my opinion, hey, there's nothing wrong with a little flex. Listen, you got to flex on your teachers. I get it, But start to question your desires because they're probably not that grandiose. And I'm not saying that you should humble yourself. If you have big aspirations, you have things that you want to go after. Dude, that's a good thing. Go after those things. But that is clouding your judgment of what you have at your disposal in front of you. Because some of us do not have an opportunity that will get us a Lamborghini and a Ferrari in our front yard at 18. That's not how this works. And if you really don't want those things, if those things are just like flashing things that you see on a archive page that you're like, yeah, I want to be like Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street. I don't think that's actually something you desire. And that is causing you to go down a path where you are destroying your gifts. Everyone is talented in something. And the more time that you spend trying to play somebody else's game, trying to adhere to what your parents think of you, what your friends think of you, what you think society wants from you, the less time you have to actually find the thing that will build your life. If you are a caring individual, that will get you further in nursing, further in a field where you can help people than if you just like money. If you are somebody who gets excited by solving problems, that will get you further in an engineering sense, that will get you further in an entrepreneurial sense than if you're just somebody who thinks it's cool to have the title CEO or engineer. Because what you will find in this world is part of the reason you think you are lost is because you do not think that you are good at anything and that you are not good enough. And the remedy to this is to realize that you are good at something. Now it is about being honest and figuring out what that thing is. And changing the way that you view your success. I'm not saying you shouldn't aspire to make money. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, aspire to have a nice house and have a family. Those are all things I aspire to do. But I also realize that maybe I'm not as gifted with crunching numbers as somebody else. Maybe I'm not as gifted at designing things as somebody else. Maybe I'm not as gifted in engineering a rocket ship like somebody else. Maybe I can't be a veterinarian and take care of a dog who needs what do dogs usually get at the vet? Help me out here. Who needs his nails trimmed, right? His paws trimmed. You are walking on somebody else's road. And that road does not lead anywhere. So now you have to figure out where you are going to walk. And if that means turning back around, having the humility to realize you might have to start from ground zero is what you need to do. Zerk, this is great. You are making a metaphor for my life right now. What do I do? Okay, I'll tell you. This is what I think you should do. The first thing you need to do is you need to realize that your mind, your heart, and your soul communicate in your body. There are certain kinds of feelings that you receive, whether it's visceral, whether it's, excitement, whatever, when you encounter things that you like and you don't like. I want you for the next month or the next week to just notice when you like something, how your body reacts. When you don't like something, how your body reacts. And note that as your guide. If you are working a job that you feel you do not like and you know that there are things in this job you do not like, do not look at it as, I'm cooked. This sucks. I'm cooked. look at it as, okay, I'm recording information. I'm working at this Cabo Bob's. I hate it. I don't like serving people. I don't like doing all this stuff. I don't like cooking. But I get really excited when I get to work the cash register and I get to recommend somebody a salsa or a queso. I do really like that part. It's weird. I don't know why, but I do really like that. Good. Take note of that. There is something there. You don't know what it is. I understand that because most of us don't, but there is something there because you like to do that thing. There is something that ignites a certain level of focus and a certain level of passion when you do that thing. And that is important. The reason that we note that thing is because there's a good chance that your gift or the thing that you can do and repeat at scale that will make you feel less lost is in that. Now it is your job to go into that thing, to try your best to do that thing as much as possible. And if right now you're like, Zerk, I don't have anything that I like, if you really dislike your job or your school or whatever that much, find a way to change it. Some of us are locked into jobs. I get that. Some of us cannot make a pivot that quickly. But the amount of freedom you will get from just starting to research or starting to see or talk to people or be like, what is it like being, an air traffic controller? What is it like being a jeweler? Yeah, I work as an insurance broker right now, but what if I did do jewelry full time? What would that look like? The more that you allow yourself to think and actually entertain certain ideas, the more you will get excited about potentially changing and trying those things. But if you sit in your peril, if you sit in your jail of like, I am just lost, I don't know what to do, and my life is cooked, you will stay there. You will stay there because you have been on that path so long that the idea of going and starting something new will be uncomfortable. That is the truth of it. I wish that there was another thing I could tell you that it will be easy, but it will not be easy. But that is why you need to do it. The solution is simple. It's just not easy, but it's simple. It's telling yourself you will try it. It's telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna learn about myself. I've been so wrapped up in like what is a good grade? What is a good, progress report at work? What is a good thing to be called, by other people? How do I do that for myself? What is my standard? Like what makes me happy? You have to go down that. And the truth of the matter is you have two options. You either stay the same or you change. People try to make it very complicated. And it's more complex, yes, in terms of like, obviously everyone's situation is different. Everyone has different bills and different things that they need to take in consideration. But if you want to do it, you will do it. Baseline. The people that have changed and have made progress and they don't feel lost in their life, the only thing they did different than you is they changed. When something wasn't working, they changed. And maybe it had to result in them losing everything they had in order to make that change, but they did that change and they are happier. What might also help you too, and what helped me, dude, find mentors. Find people who are older than you that have done this and talk to them. It's one thing hearing it from me, but sitting in front of somebody, at breakfast who's telling you about how they used to be, I don't know, an Air Force pilot, and then they played on a soccer team in Colombia for 2 years, and then they realized they hated soccer, so they went to learn surfing, and then they started a company. I don't know. Having those kind of people as proof that you can do that and that there is somebody out there that can do that is so valuable. People underestimate that. We think it's like old heads, like whatever. But the amount of knowledge that people who have done and lived more life than you have is insane. Sure, it might not be the exact advice that you need for you right now, but there is stuff that you can take and you can translate into what is that version for me. Because at the end of the day, this is your story. And if you want to be defined by the fact that you were lost and your entire life you decided to stay lost, dude, I mean, hey, absolute cinema. But that's not what you want. And I know that's not what you want. I say this because I wish I had heard this. For me, a lot of my self-doubt was what kept me from doing what I actually wanted to do my entire life for so long. I didn't really start being the version of myself that I'm proud of, the person that gets to speak into a microphone and use my gift of communication until I was 23, and I knew I had this since I was 18. But also what we fail to understand is some of us need to go through refinement. We need to get challenged. We need to get our heart broken. We need to find the motivation. We need to live a little bit of life in order to have that breaking point where we say, okay, let's that meme where it's the guy sitting in the chair and then he locks in, right? That's what you need to do. And you need sometimes you need a moment in order to push that into you. And yeah, I have watched videos like this where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm saving this video because when I lock in, I'm going to go back to this video and be like, oh my gosh, I did it. And then I wouldn't change anything. And maybe you can prove me wrong. Maybe you can prove me wrong. You know what? I'll say this. If there's anyone out there that's watching this and listening to this, and you feel lost in your life, you feel like you're not doing anything good, and you feel like it is getting to a point in your life where you need to make a change or else you are going to be cooked. If you save this video and if you make those changes a year from now, DM me. Tell me what you did. Tell me how you did it. I'll get you a coffee. It's the least I can do. Why not? Obviously, you got to make the change. You got to do all the hard work. And I'm going to ask about it. I'm going to be like, did you really make changes? Or are you trying to toot my horn so you get a free $20 latte? Whatever. Hey, I don't judge. But if you're about it, do it. And that latte won't matter as much as the changes that you've made. It'll be a nice little cherry on top. But I'm leaving it out there. If you really feel lost, make something happen. Make something happen. That's so vague, bro. How am I supposed to make something happen? I don't know how to make something happen. Let's start there, dude. The more time that you think about things in your life, the less time you have to act. And the world works on action. The world does not work on what you say. It works on how things are done. And what you decide to do and how you decide to act and how you spend your time is going to add up. Even a year from now, you will look back and be like, bro, how did I do that? How did I cook myself in a year? It was all along just on the day-to-day. All along. And I know this because this past year, my life has changed. And it's been from the results of day-to-day actions that I was like, I'm going to make this work. And I was lost. Oh, I was so lost. I didn't know what interstate to take. I didn't know what turn to take. I didn't know where I was going. But I said, okay, that's all right. I'm going to figure it out. With what I have, I'm going to figure it out. And my journey will look different than yours, of course, 100%. As your friend's journey will look different than yours. But the one thing I can tell you is that if you do not at least try, if you do not at least give yourself enough respect to be like, okay, I'm lost, I admit it, what can I do? Where can I go? Who can I just ask and DM and be like, yo, bro, I think you're doing something really cool. I want to learn how to do this. Yo, do you know anybody who is a, bricklayer? I want to get into that. Hey, do you know anybody who, has a successful relationship? I'd love to talk to them so I don't keep getting my heart broken. Use the world around you. Put it out that you want to change, and do not tell people that you're looking to change. Act on it. If you do need something to confide in, this is what has also helped me, is get a journal. Get a journal. Get any kind of journal. It doesn't need to be a specific one. It can literally, if you take a clump of paper and just fold it, have something that you write in and that you talk about what you want to do in that journal with yourself. You are the only person that is conversing about this thing, because for a lot of us, when we realize that we are lost, we tell people we're going to make these kind of changes, we're going to do this, we're going to lock in on this, and it never happens. And then you get upset at yourself and the cycle continues. So don't share anything. Put it in your journal. Tell yourself, like, all right, I'm working on this. I really hate college. Like, this sucks. I really hate high school. This is terrible. I am going to find a way to, live on my own. I'm going to find a way to meet somebody who could make me an apprentice in some kind of, welding factory. And I'm going to learn everything I can about this thing. I noticed today at work that I really, really like interacting with people, but also I don't really like interacting with customers. So it'd be cool if I could be just selling stuff. I know that I like this girl. I need to ask her to be my girlfriend. This kind of inner dialogue, this kind of expression, when you have some kind of safe place to talk about it and to actually express how you feel, it will clear all of the jargon in your mind of I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm tweaking. It will give you some kind of pathway, because what you will do is you will take everything and all this jargon that's in your mind and you will put it on something, and that something will be able to be a mirror to you, and you'll be able to reread it and be like, wait a minute, that's the solution. I got to stop thinking about this. I just got to go out and ask her. And sometimes what we need is we just need something to literally give us a mirror into our own brain to realize how much we overthink and how much we are paralyzed in our own dissatisfaction of ourselves. I know you are lost where it feels that way. But one thing I'm going to leave you with this on this episode is that nobody knows where they're going. Nobody does. People have ideas. Nobody knows where they're going. But what people do know is what they can control. The people they can trust, the people they can count on. And oftentimes, when you focus on just that, that gives you enough confidence over time to believe that wherever you're going is where you're supposed to be. And right now, you feeling lost, you're supposed to feel lost, Zerky Show, so that you can embark on the journey. One in which you learn who you truly are. Today's episode of The Zerky Show was filmed in beautiful sunny Austin, Texas, out here in the woods. Man, it's so pretty. I love the leaves are falling. It's nice to be out here. Unc, where can I find more of your yapping? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's The Zerky Show everywhere you go. That is correct. You can watch, you can scroll, you can stream it. The choice is yours. If you want beautiful yap sessions with great people that listen to them, these are the best ways to tap into The Zerky Show world and community. What? Do the things that bring you joy. Get uncomfortable, man. Ask somebody a question you wanted to ask for a minute. Be like, hey, do you think I'm cute? Just see what happens. I don't know. Maybe they do, and maybe that's your future wife or boyfriend. Or Sneaky Link. I don't judge. If you're trying something new, just know that I believe in you. And Zerky Show, as always, I'm sending you lots of love and peace. Did you guys ever have bunny ears in photos? Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyways, peace.